What's going on YouTube? Welcome back to another video. So today I have something extremely special for all of you. We are out here with the B9 S4 from 034 Motorsport, and with us today is Nick.
Hey guys, how's it going?
So what do you do at 034?
So I'm one of our sales and marketing specialists. I work with customers online to get them outfitted with the cars or parts that they want for their car, as well as work internally to develop new products that customers want.
Sweet. So why don't you give us a little tour around the car, talk to us about some stuff that's on this particular S4.
So this is our development B9 S4. It's a 2017. We've had this for a little under 2 years now, and we've used this as our test bed for all the products that we develop for the B9 platform, specifically S cars and things like that. So this car is outfitted with everything that 034 Motorsport produces for drivetrain, chassis, and power for these platforms and these cars. So starting at the sort of side of the car, it's lowered on our Dynamic Plus lowering springs. These are specifically designed for the B9 S4. We have different springs for the A4, and we'll have different springs for the RS5 and 4. That spring works perfectly with the factory dynamic suspension. Perfect ride quality in all settings, no clunking, but amazing gain in ride quality and performance itself. Kind of moving forward with the car, it's running our our Dynamic Plus Sway Bar package. So that is a front and rear sway bar combination to really lock down the roll and rigidity of the car, making it very stable and flat through corners, even being a heavy car. Moving to the front, it's running our track Spec upper control arm kit, which increases negative camber, which helps with corner entry grip, less understeer, and better ability to apply power and tire mid and exit of corner. All of that comes together to make the car ride and drive very strong and very planted. So in combination with all the suspension and drivetrain components that we include for this car, we have some chassis upgrades as well. So we developed the first style of insert. It's basically a metal component that you will fit into a already existing mount in the car, such as your transmission, your differential, and your subframe, which will limit the movement of these components without introducing extra noise, vibration, or harshness. So this ends up translating into a more direct driving feel, more linear throttle response, less sort of slop in the drivetrain, making the car feel more direct and pointed. And combined with the chassis upgrades in the form of the inserts, we pair that with our Billet strut tower brace for the B9 chassis. This locks the upper strut towers together to make the chassis itself stronger, more direct, and less flexed.
So now that we've covered some of the drivetrain aspects of this car and the development there, let's move on to engine performance. So what have we got going on up here?
So I'll start with the bolt-on mods, the things that you can go on our website right now, purchase, and increase the output of your car with. Starting from the front here, we have our 034 X34 carbon fiber intake system. This is a really substantial gain in boost response time, overall headroom for better airflow, creating positive pressure inside of the intake box itself, and ultimately supporting the turbocharger for whatever air requests. Moving down the line through the turbocharger, we have our newly released high-flow catted downpipe. This is a stainless steel unit utilizing a Euro 4 racing cat, which is a very, very high-flow catalytic converter that allows it to perform equal to a catless unit itself. That is available on the website as well, and nets a lot of power compared to the factory unit. A little over 20 to 30 wheel horsepower on stock tune alone. So tuning will take that even further.
So you can't hide it any longer. We know you guys are tuning these. We know they're gonna be pretty good potential in the future.
Yeah.
So what are you working with as far as ECU tune?
So as most of you may know, the MG1 ECU was unlocked in around August. So development started the moment it was unlocked and available to be accessed. Currently they're only server unlocked at the moment in time. Port flashing ability will come in the future. But as with any ECU tune, it takes a lot of time to create the base maps and develop a file that's reliable, repeatable, performs great, and keeps the OEM driving feel. So while we could release a tune at this moment that gets you that dyno chart, we're working on refinement, on making that car drive exactly like it came from the factory, but with gobs more power. So we have developed our Stage 1 and Stage 2 tunes on this car. It's currently running our Stage 2 ECU tuning, with transmission tuning coming as well. That is a substantial gain in power across the rev range. The single turbo twin scroll unit of this car has a lot of potential for added torque and top end power. Really, really punchy in the low end as well, making a very fun driving experience. I can't talk about numbers yet, but I promise they're pretty good. If we take a look at the turbo here, actually, underneath our soon-to-be engine cover modifications.
You just plugged a development part there.
Maybe also here too.
Whoa!
Carbon bits are coming, and ECU cover, I promise. If we take a look at the turbocharger here, it's a hot V single turbo twin scroll unit. So it takes in exhaust gases from both banks of this V6, the 3-liter V6. In the 2.9s found in the RS5s, it's a twin turbo unit. But in the 3-liter, it's a single turbo, fairly large size, with great capability for spool characteristics, meaning it's quick, responsive, but also allows you some top end. Audi did a very good job of sizing this turbocharger from the factory to match the exhaust gas output of this engine, which does mean that there's not as much headroom as, say, an RS3 turbocharger for modification in the future. So for life beyond Stage 2, hybrids will be likely the direct.
So now that we've covered pretty much everything that's on this car, public and non-public, development, whatever you want to call it, we want to know, what does it sound like? So let's get some exhaust clips. We want to hear the intake. It makes a fun noise, as they always do. So give me a little start up here and a couple revs. So far this car is incredible. I foresee so much potential out of these S4s. Sounds great, looks great, turbo already better. So I'm really looking forward to what 034 is going to be doing with these cars. So, I got something to talk about. So, you guys know Audi for, like, obviously there's luxury cars, there's performance cars, there's cars that send it really well. This particular car does all those. So this car, which I've never seen before in an S4, has seats that massage your back. Okay, now this is like super weird. I gotta get this on the screen. Like, I don't know what I'm doing, so you do it, Nick.
All right,
but
so I'm gonna go to the side of my seat here, and above the bottom adjuster for the forward back, I hit a button, and you have a bunch of modes for adjusting the bolsters and the lumbar support and such, but right here, but I am currently getting a very nice back massage.
that is just like insane. So you could be on a track day, hauling ass, putting down fast laps, while you're getting a massage. Incredible. Also an option for this car, which I didn't know, is heated and cooled seats. So I think I need a B9 S4. Definitely. I think I need one. I'm gonna steal this car. I'll trade you. You can have the STI. So overall, the B9 S4 had a really planted chassis with all those suspension upgrades that they had, as well as the drivetrain. The car was extremely smooth on acceleration, deceleration, cornering. It was just a really well-rounded car, and I think that with the future in modification for that car, it's just going to get better. I haven't really felt an Audi that rode as smooth as that one did, and kind of felt as well put together on the inside. Things were definitely more luxurious from what I'm used to being in, as the B8 is kind of has everything in reach. It's a lot narrower of a feel inside the cabin. The B9 definitely has a lot more spacious feel to it. And it's definitely a car that you can just like daily drive and kind of get in the car worry-free and then take it to the track. So hopefully 034 Motorsport is going to be releasing their software for that car. I know they've only had it for a couple months now, and they really want to refine it as much as possible. I think that Stage 2 software that they're developing right now is going to be absolutely crazy, and I think it's going to be perfect for that car, and I can't wait to see the future development for that platform. So huge thank you to everyone at 034 Motorsport welcoming me into the shop and getting a little tour around everything and checking out all the R&D that's going on, and as well as taking out the B9 S4 and kind of diving a lot more into depth onto what they're working on with that car. And thank you to Nick as well for kind of being the spokesperson for the company. And you may not know him, but he is actually behind the scenes running the Instagram, the Facebook, a lot, on the forums a lot. So he's most likely the person that you are in contact with if you're on any of those platforms. So now let's move on to what I'm working on in the back of the S4. So the car has been parked here for a couple weeks now, and I've been working on a custom bracket and setup for my air suspension back here. Before, if you guys have not seen it, I had like this little round wooden piece, and everything was just kind of sitting up top up high, and I didn't have a trunk really. So now I'm aiming to basically, I built this bracket made out of plywood at the moment, but I'm going to be refinishing it in either aluminum or sort of like HPDE plastic type, so that it kind of is a lot more sturdy, and it's actually going to be the same color as the car, so it's going to blend in really well. And then I'm also going to mount the tank, the compressor, and the management right there. Management, everything down here. And then I'll get my trunk back. So it's taken me a little while just because this is a custom setup for me, and this is the first time that I'm actually designing something myself for my car, other than the splitter, which was not as difficult. But this I'm dealing with a lot. I'm dealing with the Sport Diff ECU. I've got some wiring for that down there. I've got another hard line up there for the battery power to the front, and a bunch of other little things. We got an impact sensor down here. So I'm kind of working with all those and trying to make sure that this fits as clean as possible, to also allow me to remove the battery if I need to, without really having to deal with any of the other stuff. So I know a lot of you were asking where I've been, what I've been up to. I've been kind of focusing more on my career at the moment, and with the months coming forward until about May or June, I'm going to be pretty much not making videos for the most part. I'll try to maybe throw a little one in there every now and then, but unfortunately I'm going to be very busy with advancing my career. And then once I'm done with all that, hopefully, like I said, in May or June, I'll be full back at it, making a ton of videos with the S4. So for everything that Nick and I discussed on the B9 S4, I'm going to link it all down below. I'm going to send a link as their main website, as well as everything on ECS Tuning for you to purchase.